focus on the aim of this meeting. Can you go on the other slide, please? Can you click? Okay. First of all, I will present. We just published the 6-year assessment in figures. It's the statistical assessment of the Covenant of Mayors initiative, and we had a data set as of 13th of May 2014. At that time, we had around 5,000 signatories, representing around 186 million of inhabitants. In this report, we highlighted the importance that the Commission has given to the role of local authorities in the climate change fight. Also, the Energy Efficiency Directive mentioned in the Preamble 18 to adopt the Sustainable Energy Action Plans as a good tool for promoting energy efficiency, energy savings in local authorities. The Energy Union package this year confirmed their support on Covenant of Mayors initiatives, and lastly, the security strategy, especially in the stress test countries, calls on member states to go ahead and put in place the Sustainable Energy Action Plans as a good tool in order to have security of supply, to lower the demand on energy, on gas from Russia. And if I'm not wrong, last year we published a report where Bulgaria was studied deeply. But as we are here in the workshop of Data for Actions, and I really like this project, I will give you an overview of the data that we have in our inventories in the Covenant of Mayors initiative. As you can see here, there are two graphs. One on the top representing on the horizontal axis the cities, number of cities, and in the vertical values. As you can see, there are some data which rely above or below the average. All these data are wrong data, or as we call in statistics, outliers. The same graph, we find it, the same pattern, we find it in the emission factors, which is expressed in terms of CO2 emissions per megawatt hour of energy consumed. So in order to have a reliable evaluation of the initiative, we had to construct a statistical method in order to remove all these errors due to maybe imputation errors, due to usage of indicators which are not really connected to the local environment. Here I'm presenting, once the data is cleaned, we have the energy consumptions per capita and the CO2 emissions factors per megawatt hours of energy produced. Let's speak a little bit about the feature of this data set or of our initiative. The majority of our signatories are small towns, which means, according to the new definition of the European Commission, are cities with less than 50,000 inhabitants. in terms of numbers. 88% is this share. Why? The majority of our signatories represents 83% are representing urban population. Another difference is related to the inventory years. Our signatories, small signatories, let's say less than 50,000 inhabitants, have written their reference data, have data on 2005, while big cities have data on have reported data in 1990. So let's go now to the indicators. Indicators per sectors, which you can really find easily in the report, or indicators per capita, which are easily to communicate. Here I'm not going to read all the indicators, but the idea is, the main result is that there is a consistency of these indicators with other initiatives in terms of CO2 emissions per capita or energy consumptions per capita. These data are, let's say, comparable with data sets in Eurostat or data in the EPCC platform. Let's go now. We spoke about the inventories. Let's go now to the plans for 2020. As an overall picture, our signatories are aiming to reduce 28% of CO2 emissions. And this may contribute to the overall target of 2020 by 15%. Let's say we have 100% of target, of CO2 emission reduction target. Covenant signatories are representing 15% of this target. If we compare this target to the inhabitants that our signatories are representing in the European Union, there is a discrepancy, because we are representing more or less 30% of European Union inhabitants, while our target is representing only 15%. We may say that this is due to the fact that the Covenant of Mayors is not covering all the sectors of the emissions. So we are covering a part of the emission trading scheme and the whole non-emission trading scheme. Our plans is that the SEAP in many cities goes along with air quality SEAPs, air quality plans, like the one in Plovdiv, as I noticed in the agenda. You will speak later. But also in other cities, not only the big one, London, Copenhagen, Stockholm, which they are in position to merge the plans, but also in medium and small cities like Ghent, Glasgow, and so on. In terms of energy savings, the Covenant of Mayors is contributing to making in place the Energy Efficiency Directive. And the main city policies are related to building codes, to energy management, energy audit for the municipal buildings. While in transport, we have some cities which are really in the forefront on getting the right measures, on putting in place measures that will not only reduce the energy consumptions, not only reduce the fossil fuel consumption, but also improve the air quality in the environment where they live. While in terms of local energy production, the covenant is aiming to produce 18% of the energy consumptions in their territory. I have put here some examples from Tampere in Finland, Warsaw, Torino, where the district heatings combined with energy action plans as measures for promoting local energy productions, as they represent infrastructures where the fossil fuels can be substituted with a renewable one. Now let's go a little bit on the benchmarking and tools that are needed for the benchmarking. I have represented here a scaling up from building to urban to the member state and then to the European Union. As you can see in the first bull, here is a hot mapping of a city. It means that this is an example taken from the city of Ferrara, but it is not the only one which we have in COM initiative, where the buildings, where the municipality is trying to have an atlas of the energy performance of all buildings in the city. And then we scale up to the urban level. To the urban level, meaning that with a good cooperation coming from the project data sharing, the EU project, I think it closed 2 months ago, where DSO energy distributors have to share their data at an aggregated level, data on energy consumptions, on gas consumption, on electricity consumptions at district level. So the municipality or the people who are entitled to write the SEAP and to monitor the measures can have reliable data for planning and for increasing the sustainability of energy in their territories. Then we go at member state level. At member state level we have, I tried here the mapping of cities in Italy. You cannot see very well the intensity of color, but the idea is to map to benchmark assumptions, and a light color are cities with a low value on energy consumptions per capita. And then we scale up at member state level, at European Union level, where we compare nations between them based on these indicators, on energy consumptions and CO2 emissions. Ecco. Good tools. So as I said before, there are a lot of good tools available already from European projects which can help and may help our signatories not only in the SEAP phase, which is already done, but in the monitoring phase, because we need now to monitor our measures, to monitor in terms of numbers, in terms of qualitative indicators. And then I have reported here a good example of the city of Barcelona. Barcelona, as Plovdiv did, matched the SEAP with the air quality plan, and they have put it in place two types of indicators. Action indicators, which are indicators that measure the measure itself in terms of sorry, the phone is ringing. So sorry, as I was saying, action indicators and reaction indicators. Action indicators meaning that we measure our actions with data. It can be, for example, the number of PV plants in the municipality, along with the energy produced by these PV plants. Or it can be that are more suitable for officers that are dealing with the SEAPs. It means that what is the impact of our action which has already taken place? What is the contribution of these measures to our objective? And now I conclude saying that, having in mind the overall initiative, we need to push more on a joint approach to promote the Covenant territorial coordinators in order to have a joint approach of small signatories for the monitoring phase of Covenant. We need data, good data, reliable data. Not only, I have written here energy consumptions, but it is not only on energy consumptions. It is about inventories, it is about measures to take place, measures to be measurable, and to be qualified in terms of measurability, in terms of innovation, in terms of replication. And at the end, a benchmarking tool will be set with performance indicators in order to understand and to help our signatories to understand their performance. Okay, I think if you have questions, please write me down and I can reply by writing or speaking. Thank you very much.